And welcome to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monty and the Pharaoh, filmed out of Indie Music TV in Ronkonkoma, New York. And we've got our end of year show. At the board is our young, vibrant, special producer, Matty Ice. Matty, how are you?
Excited.
Me too.
He's vibrant.
I'm excited when you get excited. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What are your plans for New Year's? What are you doing?
Gummy bears.
Having some friends over, you know.
You guys are
gonna
having...
drink a little bit and maybe I hold some, what is it you said, sardines in your hand.
Herring.
So you got to get that shit straight.
It's herring.
Yeah. So,
I'm telling you, it's got to be the first thing you eat at midnight.
Yeah, fill the audience in.
All right, so there's an Italian tradition, right? And
Italian,
right?
folks.
You'll never be penniless at midnight. You can't have a glass
On
of
New
water.
Year's.
You
On
can't
New
have a
Year's.
cigarette on New Year's. Cigarette, anything.
Don't
The
kiss your
first
girlfriend.
Not even kissing your girlfriend.
Wow,
First
this is
thing
gonna cause problems
in your
at home. Go
mouth
ahead.
is a piece of herring, and you
first-
will never
The first
be
thing.
penniless.
First thing in your mouth. Huh?
Hey, listen, I'm just trying to help people out, man.
All right, man.
If
Well,
you
it's
didn't-
worked for you, obviously.
But before I get to the star of the show, Jimmy Farrow, I want to ask my super producer, Matt. Matt, do you ever, just an interesting question.
Oh, boy.
Have you ever played Spin the Bottle?
I know.
Do you know what it is?
Yeah, no, that's the game where you spin the bottle and you answer a question or kiss a girl.
Yeah. Okay, all right. At least
That's
you got
good
the
enough.
second part. Yeah, okay. All right.
How about strip poker?
What? What are you doing? All right. Have you?
I have.
Well, yeah.
No.
How about you?
Strip poker, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Can you tell a quick story before we get to today's show?
Not on the grounds that will incriminate me.
So I'm going to tell you before we get to the
We're
owner.
all pretty young.
Before we get to the owner
boy.
of our,
Yeah.
I think this will be a New Year's Eve tradition that the owner is on.
Okay.
And we discuss things with the
Okay.
owner.
And you know what? He's Italian. We could ask him about the herring thing.
Absolutely.
Because this is bizarre to me. But
So-
go on. Yeah.
My strip poker story is this.
Oh, boy.
I first get to Germany out of AIT.
Ooh, this is a European strip poker.
in the military.
Ooh. Okay.
I get picked up
All right.
from my staff sergeant who's in charge of the motor pool.
You said staff.
right?
Okay.
And
yeah.
then we meet up, and he brings us over. This is the first day, by the way.
The first
Maybe
day.
first or second day.
Staff sergeant.
They bring us over for a party,
Yeah.
drinking, whatever else. And then
Nice.
they're all going in the field. But being the newbies to the thing, they have me and another guy stay back.
Stay back.
Well, the wives that are in Germany have nothing to do. So they invite me and this other guy over. And what do the wives decide to do? They want to play strip poker
With the new guys.
with the new guys.
This is kind of interesting.
And I got to tell you, the one bad
Did you
thing.
show him your rifle?
Well, that's the problem. I will tell you.
Well, you
Being
had
a young-
blanks? What's going on?
Being a young guy, when you look at things,
Yeah.
you get wood. You know what I mean?
Well, oh yeah, if the
You know,
wind
you
blows
can't
the
even- you can't
if
even
the
control
wind
it,
blows
yes.
the wrong way, you get yeah, sure. When you're young, absolutely.
Exactly.
Well, you're vibrant like the guy behind the board.
That's it. And so
Right,
seeing a
right.
bunch of naked housewives
Oh boy,
who weren't that good looking.
doesn't matter.
But
They were
didn't matter.
naked.
Yeah.
Didn't matter.
You look at that.
You agree, right?
Look at that. There you go.
Naked housewives.
There you go. There you go. Well, why don't we get on to a vibrant guest?
There we,
You know.
Mr. Chris Patty. Happy New Year, sir.
Hey, hey.
Happy New Year, guys.
What's
Yes,
happening?
I'm still vibrant.
You are still vibrant.
Go.
Yeah, I'm getting younger. I've had a DNA upgrade. I'm working on replenishing the cells.
How does that work?
Oh, it's a long story.
Wow. Holy lab.
So, Chris, for the fans that are watching every week and they know about our show, they know about the studio, they don't know much about you. You've been on the show once before when Eddie Van Halen died. You guys had a wonderful conversation.
Yeah.
I kind of had to
Wow.
step out of it because you guys are both
that's
brilliant
over a
musicians.
year ago already. Wow.
Wow, that's true.
Yeah,
It's
that went
amazing how
fast.
fast the time goes.
Yeah,
Yep.
but
Crazy.
so can you tell the people out there what is Indie Music Studio, TV? How did you come up with this? And a little bit about yourself.
Well, just to backtrack, and also not to, give you as an old guy, like I would say, the Reader's Digest version, right? The abridged version. Really, Indie Music TV is all about exactly like what you guys are doing here. It's to give independent voices an opportunity to broadcast, whether it's their talent, whether it's what they have to say, whether it's anything to do with sports or politics or whatever. I mean, it started as a music network. The original idea was a music network, but really the idea was to just enlighten people without the social, political hammer that's on your head when you're involved with any kind of major broadcast network that are all very politically, driven, obviously, and controlled by big media. The idea was have it be independent, and I was a record producer for many years. I started professionally playing at 13. I subbed for Steve Gadd when I was 16. It was my first major session. The scariest session I've ever had in my life. He was a very famous drummer. Played like 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover, stuff like that. And he was the guy. So at 16, I subbed for him because he was in the hospital. Very exciting. Got me into the studio business. Started to do sessions in Manhattan. Did a lot of records, a lot of commercials, and got involved with production, recording studios. I built 3 recording studios. And then, of course, I got into music video production. Producing artists, I need a video. I don't have any money. I'll buy a camera and I'll do a video. So it kind of morphed into this thing where, as MTV, which was kind of, the de facto standard for marketing and promoting music globally, as that went in the early 90s, the reality TV route, there was really no place for videos to play. So that was really the idea of Indie Music TV. And to have, my dream was to have a studio, a small studio, where we could create content. People could come in at a reasonable amount of money and get a quality product, whether it's a music video or a commercial, whatever, and then have a network that we could air it on that wasn't politically driven, or that wasn't controlled by the Google or whoever. It's totally independent. That's it. That's pretty much the...
Well, I'll tell you, it was a good day in our lives when we found this studio, right?
Yeah, question. The thing that separates you, obviously, we know the Long Island scene, and we've seen the so-called studios that are on Long Island, and right away we recognized the technical quality here was superior. Were you the kid that was like taking apart the toaster and putting it back together when you were young? Or were you like one of them? Because,
that's a serious question?
I'm dead serious.
We need another show. Okay. So it's funny. I was just telling my good friend Catherine, who I'm hoping is watching right now.
He was taking apart the toaster. He was.
When I was 8 years old, my father owned a dental lab, okay? So he had access to Scientific American, which was the, supply house for, all sorts of glassware. So you guys remember Eddie Munster's grandpa, his basement?
Oh, sure.
That was my basement as a kid.
That's pretty cool.
I was reading college chemistry books at 8, 9, 10 years old. I created water from scratch, combining oxygen the best thing was I blew myself up twice. Once I created a hydrogen bomb in my basement by creating hydrogen, and I'm like, I don't have matches. I got to go upstairs. I go upstairs to get the matches and realize the zinc and the hydrochloric acid's building up, just like leaving a stove on. I light the match. Boom! This flask hits the wall, takes all my glass down. I'm on the ground, face down, covered in glass. My father comes downstairs. What the F did you do? Are you dead? Are you okay? I was laying on the ground covered in glass. So, yes. And I started making firecrackers and little bombs as a kid. I figured out how to make gunpowder and all that. Then I started pulling apart tape recorders and everything else and figuring out how to do sound on sound, using one machine, playing drums and taking that tape and put it in this one, then play the bass, then the tape and put it back in the other one and play the guitar. And so, yeah, I've always kind of been kind of a crazy scientific, but, music and science kind of thing together. So
it's pretty incredible. So it seems like you come visit us some of the worst times. So
what? Some of the worst times? Go on.
Because you know what? We found out yesterday that the great John Madden passed away.
Very sad.
Your thoughts on John Madden?
The face of football for so many years. My God, I know. It's just sad.
What did Madden mean to you, Farrell?
Oh, man. We would need another show, like Chris said, to just discuss John Madden. Look, John Madden is probably, as odd as it may seem, but when you really think about it, John Madden is probably the most identifiable singular source to the NFL and has been the face of the NFL in many ways for decades. What I also didn't realize is when John Madden was coaching the Raiders, and because we're ancient, we remember those days, I did not know at the time, because John Madden always seemed to look a little older for, his age.
Yep.
At the time, he was John Gruden. He was the youngest coach in the history of the NFL when he was with the Raiders. I had no idea that he was so great so soon. And he retired at 42, and when he retired, he had the all-time winning percentage for coaches. And he still holds the record.
Yeah.
And then he went on to announce for how many, by the way, him and Pat Summerall together are to me, the definitive combo if I wanted to watch a football game. I want Summerall and Madden talking to me. You know, that goes over Howard Cosell. That goes over a lot of other great combos.
He was like the Dick Clark of football.
Oh my God!
You know, he was the face of football media for so many
I
years.
thought about this too, and you guys will recognize this name too. John Madden was very jovial. He made you feel good about football. He made you feel good in general. He is the Burl Ives of football. As to what Burl Ives was to Christmas, the face of feel good. This was what John Madden was. He was the holly jolly football guy. He was fantastic. 85, he did pretty good, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Did pretty good. Rest in peace to an absolute legend. And the Jets will never have a coach like that. That's why we're still waiting. Oh, well. You want to coach them, please?
Not me.
How about you, Chris? Can you know anything about football? You know about taking apart toasters? No?
Not
Okay.
enough to coach the Jets.
Listen, you could wear
I don't mean anything
blindfold
bad by that.
Yeah.
and you're-
Yeah.
I don't know, man. What does New Year's mean to you
Oh, yeah.
as we go to break? What does New Year's mean to you, and what is your expectations for yourself in 2022 and indie music TV?
I think I'm a typical person in that respect. I think New Year's is reset.
Sure.
To me, you look back at the year, what went right, what went wrong,
Sure.
what were your aspirations, what were your hopes, and how do you look forward in a positive way, learn from the mistakes, learn from the things that didn't work out, and as the time goes on, to me, it's all about relationships. The people that you care about, those are the things that are most important things, and you take care of yourself, you take care of each other, and you deal with what the world hands you, and you do the best you can. And it's been a rough couple of years with the coronavirus and, the divide in this country and the political divide and the racial divide. And it's very sad, but at the same time, not to quote President Reagan, but if there was a threat from somewhere else that came here, guess what? All our problems would be nothing. Black, white, yellow, red, we'd all be brothers. We all got to get together. So when you think about it, when any tragedy happens, whether it's something like that or the coronavirus, it makes you realize what's important. And it kind of distills your life down to the essence of who you are and what's important to you and what to focus on. So to me, again, it's pressing reset. That's what I look at it.
That's like a great Independence Day speech, man. Great job. Kidding me? Jeez.
Thanks,
I
guys.
don't know, man. For me,
Aw.
the last couple of years, I don't know. It seems like there's just this black cloud that's lingering over everybody every day, and it's feel like you don't get a break from it. And,
things have
Honestly,
changed.
I think it's
That's
the
for
media
sure.
because I don't care if it's Fox News or CNN. So how bad are the Democrats? How bad are the Republicans? It's nothing but bad, 24/7, and you're perpetuating this black cloud. So you're 100% right.
You know what really stinks for a guy who doesn't watch any media or watch any television, because the folks who watch this show regularly know that the Pharaoh doesn't have a TV. I still see it because
God bless you. You're better
but
off.
it spills into people. So I do see it. I do feel it. Even though I don't sit there and listen to every last thing in the media, I can tell that it's affecting everybody.
They
Because
sell
they're wearing it on their faces out in public. It's rough.
They sell fear. The black cloud is fear.
Oh, it's
all about fear.
unbelievable.
You got to get skinnier. You got to get richer. You got to get this. You got to get
Yeah.
that. You got to get the vaccine. You got to get 12 booster shots. Otherwise, you can't go to the movies, or kids can't go to school. Things are so incredibly people are so manipulated and controlled, but we do have the power to rise above it. That's the thing that I hope this new year will bring, is that people are going to realize, you know what? I don't have to do this. If I really don't want, I got to rise up with my brother and my sister and make some noise, and make this country, bring it back to where it was,
Well, with that, I want to say thank you for all you've done. We consider you a very good friend, and we're expecting great things for Indie Music TV along with the Monty and the Farrow Show. And again, one good thing we look forward to is every Thursday coming into this wonderful studio
Oh, yeah.
and then seeing yourself,
Yep.
Matty Ice, and the fans
Yep.
that watch the show every Thursday that support us. It means a lot to us.
You guys are nothing but a pleasure, and honestly, I've enjoyed watching your growth. I've enjoyed watching you guys grow as entertainers and as statisticians and everything else. I mean, you guys are like a plethora of knowledge for your sport, and it's great. So I appreciate it. We love having you.
He called wrestling a sport. I love him.
That's good.
That's right. It's a sport, damn it.
We'd like to thank
You hear
the,
that, Mike?
the band that sings the theme song for Monty and the Pharaoh. Wisteria Hall, our own Jimmy Farrell, along with his partner Bart Griggs, make up the band Wisteria Hall. They sing such great songs as In My Dream,
Yeah.
This Life, Not Far Behind, Here
Yeah.
Comes the Rain, and you can find their music on the Wisteria Hall YouTube page. Hit that like and subscribe.
Hit it.
Go to Spotify, Apple Tunes, Reverb Nation, or wherever music can be found.
Hit it now.
I'm thinking maybe the most popular song right now is Finest Hour.
Yeah, man. It's Finest
Fans
Hour.
are digging the Tony Atlas theme
It's
song.
herbal, organic goodness.
What do you think of that? All the Wisteria Hall music for all the new wrestlers that are coming on the channel, Wisteria Hall is the theme, like all their different music is a theme for each one of these wrestlers.
That's his idea.
I think it's great.
He just plucks
I
it
think it's
everywhere.
great. The
and I'm
music's
like, okay.
great. It must be great for you to be
I'm
getting the attention
thrilled.
that you guys
Yeah.
deserve with your
It works
music.
for
It's
me.
great.
I got a little artsy, and God knows I'm
You
not
got
artsy,
very
but with the new
artsy.
Vampiro show
It's
that's on every Sunday
It's like
from
Stanley Kubrick
7
over
p.m.
here. Yeah.
We got Wisteria Hall with Go-Go Girls, and then
Yeah.
every so often there's shots of video of Vampiro getting his head crushed by
Yeah, and
chairs,
then showing the
tables,
after
pile
effects of
drivers.
what happens to his brain, and then you got Go-Go Girls. It's like, what am I looking? It's like Andy Warhol gone crazy, but okay. You know?
All right, if you didn't know it, you are watching Long Island's #1 pro wrestler broadcast, Monty and the Pharaoh. You can catch us on the Monty and the Pharaoh YouTube page, the Monty and the Pharaoh Facebook Live page. Hear us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor, the Monty and the Pharaoh Twitch TV page. Catch us on Channel 115 if you live in New York every Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. and every Saturday at 11:30 p.m. By the way,
Yeah.
you got to get me some cable shows, brother. Dude, I'm sorry.
Dude, it's the holiday seasons, and we've both been in and out
Come
of the doctor's office, and we've both
on.
been working, and we've both been. My car was in the shop. I mean, what do you want?
Channel 20
We need another
Tuesdays
day
at
of the week,
1
much less
a.m.
another
and
show.
most recently, we've been added on to Amazon Music.
Yeah.
We'll be right back with the 2021 year in review from Monty and the Pharaoh. Again, we want to thank Mr. Chris Patty for all you've done
Thank
for
you.
us as people and as for this show.
Certainly.
Much respect, sir.
Back at you, both of you.
We'll be right back after this commercial break.
The in effect.
Hey folks, this is Wolfie D here, and if you are looking to buy or sell a home in Tennessee or Southern Kentucky, you're going to want to call my buddy, the rock star realtor, Benji Bowie. And you say, Wolfie, how do I get in touch with this rock star? Well, you can call him directly at 615-390-8216. You can go to his website, bowiehomes.com. That's B-U-I-E homes.com. Or you can email him at benbuie34@gmail.com. BENBUIE34@gmail.com. When you need a home, you need the Rockstar Realtor. Tell him Wolfie sent you. Benji is a member of Exit Realty's Garden Gate team in Gallatin, Tennessee.
The Monty and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite four-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine.
Yeah.
And Nitro's Garage for all your automotive needs. Call 646-675-2349. That's 646-675-2349. For all your automotive needs, Nitro's Garage. Ask for Jack.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monty and the Pharaoh, seen every Thursday at 9 p.m. Again, we really meant what we said. Every Thursday is such an honor. Even if you're having a bad day, you come in here. We get to laugh with our friends who join us every Thursday.
Truly good.
PJ, Chris Lee, Maria, Phil,
Hey, yo.
Roy, Luce, 802,
Yes, sir.
ESO,
Yes, sir.
who proudly supports us as a sponsor.
Awesome. Very creative.
Stingers, we love you guys,
Yeah,
man.
man.
And the list goes
Yeah.
on and on and
Is
on.
Jimmy Fingers out there? You got the old Jimmy Fingers guy?
Valerie Lisley.
Okay.
I don't recognize that name.
No.
I don't know if you knew Valerie, but welcome aboard if you are.
Yeah.
Great to see you.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so we're going to do a little year in review. Some good, some bad, some sad, some mad, right?
I don't remember the year. I don't
So-
remember last week, but we'll give it a
We
shot.
thought it's fair that we discuss the people. We'll open up with the people who passed in 2021.
Yeah.
You feel free. I'll just name them.
Well-
You feel free to comment on who you feel like commenting
Well,
on.
right at the top, I see Butch Reed towards the top.
Well, let me read through the
Yeah.
list, and once I hit
Yeah,
somebody,
sure.
just jump in, okay?
Okay. Wow.
Felicia Annibal Jr.,
Okay.
John Renesto,
Right. There's
Butch Reed.
There's Hacksaw Butch Reed. He was a guest on Monty and the Pharaoh a couple of years back. One of the actually kind of underrated when you think about it a little bit. I mean, my God, main event. Worked with so many greats down south. Was great up here, you know, and a nice guy. I think you told me that was one of your favorite interviews.
It was.
Hacksaw
Butch Reed
Butch
meant
Reed.
well, I was a big natural Butch Reed, right?
Sure.
Obviously, I knew about him in Mid-South, but
Yep. How great was he?
and I got to tell you, sorry, there's a point in the interview when he talks about Junkyard Dog
Yeah.
that gets very emotional,
He got teary, didn't he?
and
Yeah, I think he did. From what
I don't know,
remember.
man. It's
died young,
hard
too.
seeing these
67,
guys.
I
Yeah,
think.
it's hard seeing these guys. It's hard seeing anyone pass, but to see people you grew up on, and they're in your life and they're out of your life, it's scary.
Especially a guy like that in his prime who was granite, you know. And,
Yeah.
and when we met him, he seemed frail. You know what I mean? It
Oh,
was like,
absolutely.
it was like, wow, this
He
is
wasn't
this,
Butch Reed
this
as
is
we knew
Butch
him.
Reed, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I mean, you knew it was him, but
Yeah,
it was
no.
like, wow.
I gotcha.
Yep.
Rusty Brooks, Dean Ho.
Dean Ho. Well, there's an early name for the Pharaoh, that's for sure. Dean Ho was tag team champions, I think, with Tony Gurria back in the mid-'70s or so. One of Tony Gurria's first co-tag team. As you know, Tony held the belt with others, too.
Absolutely.
But sure, I remember Dean Ho.
Don Serrano.
Okay.
Am I saying this right? Josephus?
That's Josephus.
Josephus.
And you know who that is?
Yep.
That's one of your favorites.
It's question mark, yeah.
That was a shock. That's for sure. He was great. Karate. Wasn't it? You
Karate.
loved that. That
did.
was good.
NWA Power.
That was good.
When that first
wasn't that
came
good
out,
for a few months.
it was so.
What happened?
When I used to turn it on YouTube, and that
What
Dawkins
happened?
song came on.
That was meant.
It was so. The whole show was
Yeah,
great.
but you know what happened? Don Dokken called Billy Corgan and was like, "Listen, bro,
Can't
you're
use
gonna
it.
give me some money." No, he wanted money. I know Don Dokken, man. I don't know
Okay.
him personally,
Right.
but I know enough about Don Dokken.
And so-
I'm damn sure he was like, "Yo, bro."
But the minute he should have
And
paid
Billy
him.
Corgan
Corgan
was like,
Corgan
how
should have
about-
paid him.
How about eat me?
Yeah.
Is probably what Corgan
Well,
said.
guess
because-
what? And the
because
NWA went,
right, and Corgan wasn't even smart enough to like replace it with a Smashing Pumpkins song.
By the way,
He
we had
should've-
we
he
had
should've
Mike
done,
Knox.
well, something good.
Mike
from
Knox in
Smashing
studio. Great interview. Great guy. I tried to support him on NWA Power. Dude, I just
Yeah.
can't watch NWA
Dude,
Power.
Trevor Murdoch is the champion.
It's
He
terrible.
drew like 3 people.
All right, Johnny
In Atlanta.
DeFazio, Ann
Okay.
Casey,
Okay.
Jim Crockett Jr.
Jim Crockett Jr. My God, one of the greatest promoters in the history of this business. The one who supplied us Dusty Rhodes and Ric Flair and the Road Warriors and Nikita Koloff and holy moly, Jim Crockett Jr. What are you kidding? Like wow, that's a major loss.
Maria,
Major.
member for 10 months. Maria,
Nice.
thank you for the support.
Maria's
I
the
mean,
best.
you were one of the first to
She's the
really
best.
support us, and
Very real
thank you
person.
so much.
She's awesome.
Buddy
awesome.
Colt.
Okay, Barry Orton.
Barry Orton.
This is a guy that I wanted on the show.
Yes.
Because I think you just would have had a field day. You love the juicy stuff.
Oh, my
and
God.
Barry Orton would have been like,
Well, you remember when we
whoa.
had Cowboy Bob in, we
course.
actually spoke about Barry, and you
Right.
could see that he felt that Barry was
Right.
still troubled
Yeah.
in his later age.
Yeah. Yeah.
But something about Barry O. Remember Barry O?
Sure.
Oh, my God.
You know, that's missed potential, I think, with Barry O. What do you think? They could have done more with him.
Just doing the O was
Right,
They
they should've-
should have put him
Wasn't
over.
there Steve O also?
Yeah, but he
There was
didn't
a
do the
Steve
O. It was
Right.
Barry.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's true, too. That's true, too.
Sean Vex.
Okay.
New Jack.
Well, come on. This is one that I still haven't. Boy, I'm usually I get over these things usually, but New Jack, it bothers me every single time I see him, in video or whatever. It bothers me that he's gone. He was gone too soon. 58. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Loved him. Loved him. Awesome guest. Awesome and cool. At least towards me. I really
No,
loved him.
that's-
I loved him back then. I loved him when we got to meet him. I was scared shitless.
Sure.
When he was coming in the first time, I was so worried. I was like, "Oh God, what if he's a dick? Oh no!" But he was fantastic. What a good dude he was to the show.
Icon.
Yeah, Absolutely. New Jack, one of the top 5 faces in the history of hardcore. Period.
Astro Negro.
Okay.
Here's one I need you to weigh in on because we didn't really talk about it much when it
What,
happened.
Kernodle, huh?
Don Kernodle. What did Don Kernodle mean to you?
Don Kernodle to me meant Sergeant Slaughter. I mean, the early days of us watching wrestling in Mid-Atlantic, right? I mean, Kernodle made a little noise for a little bit.
Why didn't Vince do something with him when he
There
brought
was
him up
not
here?
much to do with Don Kernodle.
Thank you. That's why I turn things to you.
Yeah, 'cause
all these other
'cause
people
it's
like,
the
what a
truth.
waste of talent.
Stop
No.
that. Just stop that. You know what I mean? As far as them with that, cut the shit. Kernodle was a serviceable hand who did well when he was with Slaughter. That's what I remember about Kernodle. Nothing more, nothing less, and nothing to not be proud of. Cool. That's Kernodle.
Tony Marino.
Okay.
John Barber.
Okay. Oh God, the next one.
Melissa Coates.
This one really hits on 2 different fronts because we saw Melissa with Sabu, I would say about 5 years ago out here in Ronkonkoma at the Firehouse.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a good fit, and I thought to myself, wow, I wonder what that would have been like when, they were younger for him to have Melissa with him, maybe after the post-ECW time with Fonzie, and I thought that they were good together. And then when Sabu came in, of course, when Melissa passed away, that's forever going to be with me because Sabu was really hurting.
Yeah.
Badly. And I was like, argh. So Melissa Coates
Yeah, but you know what, dude?
strikes some serious emotional chords with this mark, if you will.
I think we mentioned it after the interview.
Oh, man. I hope Sabu's doing good, by the way.
With Sabu.
Yeah.
There was some healing that went on that day because when we had that interview, he was so taken back by the interview. At the end of the interview, was shutting it down.
Yeah.
And literally me, Farrow, Sabu.
I know where you're going with this.
We just had this long,
the unplanned group
massive hug.
What was that?
And I almost felt like
seriously,
we gave.
what was
I
that?
think it was a day of healing.
I mean, that thing just happened on its own. That was the most organic thing. I was like,
it
what
was
is
a
going
day
on
of
here?
healing, man. People need to heal,
Sabu was so much in pain, man. Oh,
Del
God.
Wilkes.
This is another one.
That
man.
one hurt.
Yeah, I know it hurts you badly. I know it does because you're a huge fan of the Patriot. Complete shock because when Del Wilkes came in here, I thought he looked great.
Look great.
Okay, looked like he was in solid shape. Looked great for his age. Was doing his own radio podcast show of sorts. You know what I mean? He was doing well.
Yep.
Very sharp. I thought he was.
By the way, PJ says
Yes.
Sabu interview is awesome. I learned. I
Yes.
teared up on that one myself.
Yeah, it's rough, man. It's rough.
Go ahead.
It still bothers me, and this one bothers me too with the Patriot. Very, very sharp man. Very nice man. I also loved how him and
by the way, Lou says Sabu was our best interview.
you know what? I can't argue with
Well, we'll
that.
go through all
I
the
can
interviews
see-
we did in
I can see
2000.
why
We'll
somebody would
discuss
think
it with
that. We've
everybody.
had
I want to
some-
have everybody weigh in.
We've had the good fortune to have some great interviews, but I agree that is in the top. That's
All right,
up,
so
that's up there.
Finish up with Wilkes.
Yeah, well, with the whole Wilkes thing, it was just very, very disturbing. I don't, again, I think he was 61, so he died way too young.
Way too young.
But I did appreciate how he immediately, if we can I say something humorous?
Go ahead.
What I thought was great was just how him and Buff immediately buried that joker from Hawaii, that metal moron. That was fantastic.
You'll never get over that one.
No, well, I loved it that they buried him. They're like, who? That was great. Why should I get over that?
You know what? To be honest with
there's
you,
a whale that should be
I think
beached.
that was Del Wilkes' last
I think
interview.
so, man. Yeah, he was.
And I mean, that's nothing to be proud of. We're not bragging about it. I'm just saying.
No, but I think it might have been. I mean, he was excellent. Excellent guy. Way too soon.
Chris Youngblood.
Yeah, what's that? Youngblood.
Paul Orndorff.
That's I was just thinking about Paul Orndorff last night when I knew we were going to be discussing this kind of stuff. Paul Orndorff was such a massive, massive superstar. I know that Piper will always be thought of first, and others may be.
I
thought
felt
of
they
first.
were together.
My
Like
God.
they were
Isn't he,
simultaneously
really, when he
together.
was in his prime, when you think the damage that he did
Oh, my
on a
God.
main event level,
Oh, my
down
God.
in the NWA and up here with the WWF, it is ridiculous.
Oh, my
Paul
God.
Orndorff is one of the absolute all-time greats.
Absolutely.
My God.
Brazo de Plata.
Okay.
Jody Hamilton.
Right.
Bert Prentice.
Burt Prentice. Yep. And then
Beautiful Bobby Eaton.
that's just see. This is one of my great regrets because I would have loved to have had him on. He was a prototype machine. He was awesome. I do think he's underrated.
He was going to be on.
Yeah, I know. I can't, man. I can't.
Dominic DeNucci.
Dominic DeNucci. How much do we love the memories of Dominic DeNucci? Dominic DeNucci's from our earliest days of watching pro wrestling. Dominic DeNucci was on every Saturday night. Dominic DeNucci's the guy who pulled out the chair and whacked it across Sergeant Slaughter's backside when he wouldn't stop beating up Pat Patterson during the Cobra Clutch Challenge. You know? People forget that.
Lou says Orndorff and Hogan drew more money than anybody else on house shows.
My God. I wouldn't be surprised if them there is the facts.
And then we
At all.
finished off with Corporal Kirshner.
Corporal Kirshner, 64 years old. Yeah, we saw him at that convention, and it was like a scene out of The Wrestler.
Well,
Here's a guy who, like, wrestled at, WrestleMania and stuff. And
rest in peace.
Yep. Yep.
So, again, a lot of us, obviously we're old school, and everybody that's watching, most of us were old school wrestling fans.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to get into this a little bit, right?
All right.
So Hook.
Hook.
Hook. Everybody knows.
By any
Taz
chance, do you have a photo of Hook this week, or is that something that we didn't?
hooks up.
Is it up? By any chance, Matt, does Hook have a tail? Does he have a tail?
What does that mean?
I thought that there was a picture of a Hook that was like a kitty cat.
Oh no, that one.
You didn't put it up?
No.
You jerk.
You
I
forgot.
told you
You
to
did
put
tell
that
me.
one up. All right,
Hey,
never mind, Matt. Matt, can I have a gummy bear?
I
see
blew
you
it.
eating gummy bears over
I
there.
blew it. Oh, you know what? Chris Lee responded. Did I not say Daphne?
Daphne, yeah.
You did say someone was
Yeah, I
missing.
said someone's missing, but I
Yeah.
couldn't. You got to forgive us, Chris. It's like as usual in pro wrestling, the list is way too
But
long.
thank you guys. And
Too
listen,
long.
please, if we forgot someone, please remind us.
Yeah.
So back on Hook, everybody knows it's Taz's son.
Right. You know why they call him Hook, right? Can we just get that out there?
Go ahead, get it out.
Taz is from Red Hook, so that's why he's called Hook.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, I was like, does anybody
Red Hook,
even
Brooklyn.
Yeah, he's
Pretty good.
He's Hook.
Well done.
He's from Red Hook.
So kid's got a good look,
Fantastic look.
right? You were talking,
Yeah.
Here's my issue, guys. Like, we just named a whole bunch of wrestlers, right? Mostly older wrestlers.
Right.
People that, made us fans.
Right.
And
Right.
what made us fans,
Eaton,
I think, if I could
DiNucci.
speak for anybody,
Orndorff.
these
right.
guys were bigger than life. Like,
Orndorff. Oh yeah.
They
were.
you wanted to be like them.
They were also big.
But that's what I mean. You wanted to be
they were
like
big.
them. You wanted to,
Yeah.
you
Sure.
wanted to have their personality.
Yeah, you
I
like
mean,
things about them the way you like things about
absolutely.
Kiss, Gene
So,
Simmons.
Yeah,
you
in
like-
today's wrestling, Phil, yes, I remember when the news of Daphne came out. Yep, that was some tough stuff,
Yep,
man.
Yep.
Actually, that was a great discussion we had with Mike Messier that day.
Daphne was a killer Sarah Palin, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, it's great.
So
I love it.
nothing against Hook,
Yeah.
but it's coming to the point where this is just utterly ridiculous.
Do tell.
I watched his debut match. Good match. Wrestled a smaller guy. Was good. Fine.
Okay.
Then they put him up against a 200-something pound guy, maybe 300
this
pounds.
past week, I believe.
This dude hits
Or
him
last
with
week.
moves, and Hook no-sells like he's the ultimate warrior.
Right, when he got dumped on his head
I
by a 270-pound guy, and then he just popped
I'm getting
back up.
tired of this, dude.
Right.
You're making an embarrassment of the sport. I mean, this is not the ultimate. This dude takes a pile driver, pops right back up. All right,
back
he,
up.
he sat down for a second, pops back up.
He popped back up. Right.
And then he gives his moves to this 300-pounder, and that guy looks like he got
Looks
hit
like
by
he
a
got-
hurricane.
And again, I think that jobber, by the way, should get a huge compliment because, man, he made Hook like Hook was a 275-pound Randy Orton. He did, the jobber. He did an amazing job putting Hook over, I mean, how much is Hook weigh, you said? Soaking wet?
I can't see 170 pounds.
Right. They're billing him at 201, which, by the way, at least they got this one right. They're billing him at 201. Tell me that,
At least
tell
they
me
might have
that
listened
he's
to you.
bigger.
They might
Please
have
don't
listened
tell
to
me
you.
he's 170.
Right, yeah,
You
tell
know what
him
I mean?
201.
I mean, didn't they announce Jungle Boy at 161?
Right.
Or some shit. I was like, what are you doing?
So,
You know?
I put this on Twitter because it really did aggravate me.
Okay.
And Mike Messier, the AEW apologist, a lot of people
here we
responded,
go.
but I want to just talk about Mike Messier for a
Sure.
minute. This is why I'm bringing it up, and this is what bothered me, what he said.
Hit it.
He goes, guys, this is wrestling. Suspend your belief. So I said to you the other night, I go, then fuck it. Have zombies.
Right.
Have pizza.
Yeah.
Don't get mad about any of this shit.
Right.
Because if that doesn't count,
Right.
then
Why should
nothing counts.
Why should anything else? Right. I think I had kind of an interesting response to that
Go
when
ahead.
we were talking about that.
Share it.
I felt that, it depends on what it is that I'm suspending my belief over in wrestling. And yeah, even wrestling, it did. There is a line.
Marty says, "Rip Jody Hamilton, the assassin."
There you go. Oh man, that's true. That was the assassin who was really good on the mic and was like the real pizzazz of
And
the
Phil
assassins.
says, "Always add 30 pounds and 3 inches."
Yeah, you should. I totally agree.
Phil, I used to add 3 inches, but it wasn't to my height.
Holy shriveled salamander Batman. That's rough.
Go back. I'm
That's
sorry.
rough.
So you were saying.
Go back.
I keep interrupting you.
Well, now that I've completely thrown myself off again.
Stinger says it's embarrassing. What a joke. But go ahead.
Yeah. Well, to me, again, it depends on what I'm suspending my belief over. Hook and a guy way bigger than him, I totally agree with you. It's easier for me to suspend my belief if it's a wrestling match like the one you're describing. It's a wrestling match.
Right.
Zombies, get the hell out of my universe. I don't want to see zombies. I understand the Freak, though. That makes any sense. Freak is cool with me. But don't they know when something is just stupid? The zombie thing was stupid. It's very obvious it's stupid. And it's not funny dumb, the zombies. I like funny dumb, like the hand that May gave birth to
Right.
with Mark Henry.
Right.
So it really depends on what it is I'm accepting.
It has to be placed perfectly.
Between me and you, Hook should have stayed the F down and taken a beating for a half a minute until he came back up with a power move out
Come
of nowhere.
back.
You can't do that.
Here's
You
some-
can't have him doing that. He's not the Ultimate Warrior. He's not Goldberg. And if, by the way, I'm feeling like they're going to push Hook the way they pushed Taz in ECW when Taz was rising.
But
Small guy
hold on.
who was killing everybody and never lost.
But here's Roy
You
Batiste
can't do
says this
with
is a
Hook.
really good point. He says
This is not Goldberg.
Hook will be a jobber like his father was when he went to the WWE. So Roy, me and
If Hook
Farrell were
ever
talking
winds up
about-
with Vince, he
He'll be-
will.
Yeah. Well, we talked
I
about
agree.
when Taz. Okay, so
Vince had no use for Taz.
I got
He's
turned
not
on to
gonna have a use
Taz,
for Hook.
in it, like Farrell said in ECW, where he
Right.
couldn't be beat.
Right.
Then he makes his debut in the WWE and he
Against
beats
Kurt
Angle,
Angle.
and I'm tazzing out. I'm
was
like,
great.
this is great.
It was great.
The next
What?
night on Monday Night
He
Raw,
stood in front of who?
I'm pretty sure he
Who
stood in
tested?
front of was it
It's
Orton?
either Edge or Randy Orton or somebody like that.
And
who's
I
6'5".
I go, forget it.
right.
Forget
Because
it.
Taz was
And
up to the nipple.
That's right. And Vince was probably thinking the same
That's
thing.
not gonna work.
Forget it.
That's
The
not gonna
dude's
work.
too small.
That's right.
It doesn't
That's
work.
right. And he wasn't playing as big as a shorter Ivan Putski either.
Guys,
Ivan Putski was short, but did you ever
Guys.
look at Ivan Putski?
that's why it made
God.
sense for Adam Cole to go to AEW. The smaller wrestlers.
This is
there.
where I disagree because I think that Adam Cole plays big like Chris Jericho.
But the problem, I'm telling
Not as
you,
big as Chris Jericho,
they
but he
wanted to
still
make him a
plays
manager
it as
because
big.
they wanted to blend him in slowly.
Yeah, to be
and that
something-
was the right move, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
Not in my mind. Not taking the wrestling away from Adam Cole. Not now. Not at that age. But okay.
Luce says WWE made Taz look like a B on purpose. I
Yeah.
don't think on purpose, Luce.
No, I do think they
I
did
think
that.
that
I
he was
agree with
too
Luce.
short. He was too short.
And then they made him look like a bee on purpose.
Well, it was over.
Right.
There's no reason
but
to push him.
it didn't need to be until what they should have done was just continue to push him solid until the fans say otherwise.
Oh, look, we got someone here that says B Star says you're both a bunch of marks.
Who said that?
B Star.
B Star. Okay.
Is that Brett Star?
I don't know. Does B Star have a B cup? You wear a B cup, B Star?
First of all, what is a mark?
Who the hell knows?
Can
and who
someone
the hell
tell me
cares?
what a mark
You know what
is?
it means? It means we passionately love wrestling. Up, got us. Wow, you're clever. Next.
I'm not so sure I passionately love wrestling.
That's true. You passionately love the entertainment aspect
Thank
of pro
you.
wrestling.
Thank
I
you.
passionately love wrestling.
But, I want to understand.
I'm the mark. Get this
I
straight.
want to understand
I don't know.
what a mark is.
I don't know.
A mark is someone.
care.
A mark is someone that goes to big event
That's not
for
us.
$999
That is not us.
and gets a picture
Yeah.
with.
Yeah. You will not find a Hulk Hogan bobblehead doll in my room.
Thank you.
So,
But I
don't
bet
know,
you in B Star's mommy's basement where he lives because he has no job.
with his
and
sipping tea out of his B cup.
No, seriously. You know the dude lives in a basement.
Probably.
He's probably never been laid.
No.
But he knows
Ever.
what a mark is.
Right. Of course he does.
That and 2 cents B Star will get you nowhere.
Yeah, and he knows what a
Oh,
keyboard
by the
is.
way, he says it's a C cup.
That's he's
Kudos.
Cool. He's cool.
Kudos,
I get
B-Star.
it, Jen. What's up, bro? There we go. Thank you.
That's it.
And yeah, we're marks. What do you want? Well, not him. Me.
Again, I don't know what a
care
mark
either
is.
way.
Loose Cannon. Brian Pillman in 1970s will tell you what a mark is. Well done, Loose.
What about that lunatic who went to the convention and said he was with Monty and the Pharaoh and was like, everybody give me autographs?
A mark is a
That sounds like a
mark
crazy
is
mark.
a guy that believes that OJ didn't do it. Pillman.
What?
This is true. Or a mark is someone that cheers when Phil Brooks farts, right?
That's true. That's true. Phil, no one farts like Phil. That was awesome. That was awesome.
All right, guys. So we're going to go down a list. So it's been a wonderful 2021. You guys are fantastic. We've had a great year. So many
Yeah.
great things have happened.
Michael Myers came back with another great Halloween movie.
I'm talking about the show.
Oh, the show. Go
The
on.
show.
Yeah, yes, go on. Go on.
We've got some wonderful sponsors, great fans
Yes.
that join us every week.
Yes.
And some great guests. So we want to go over the list of guests. We're going to start, this year, the beginning of the year, go through the list.
Okay.
You know,
We
speak
can
on
do
them if you
that.
want. We ask everybody to weigh in. If you enjoyed that interview, if you hate it, please weigh in.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Jackie Martlin.
Loved it.
From the
Howard Stern show. That was fantastic. I loved that. I loved it, and I loved doing the cable version of it. I loved it. He's great. He might have influenced me. Him.
Yes.
I loved him on the Howard Stern show, and I kind of got off the boat when he was gone. So there, Howard. Love you too, but man, Jackie, the shit.
Remember when he said, "I'm glad I'm not there live"?
Yeah, he was like, "You guys are crazy. I saw the opening credits. No, thank you."
Dan, we just want to talk.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Massive respect for Dan.
Shane and Sandman.
Look, man. Once again, here comes the Sandman. Boom. The shoes go off. The medicine pot pen goes right. Yo, man, I was looking forward to this fucking show. You guys are like Howard. I love it here. He's having a great time. And then, of course, we've got the great Shane Douglas, who's always been great for this show. He's always been a friend, and he's a brilliant guy.
Phil says Hot Dogs and Donuts by Jackie.
Hot Dogs and Donuts by Jackie.
Stars and
Yes.
Stripes,
Yeah.
which turned out to
Dogs
be an
and
incredible
Donuts.
interview,
What? Yeah.
which was about politics.
Yep.
1 hour.
Yeah, it was.
Straight.
Yeah, it
politics.
was, and it got mad-ass views, too, a lot of those little snippets you were doing. The Patriot says.
Here to me was the interview of the year for me.
It's my favorite. Isn't it your favorite? Come on,
my
let's
God.
go here. Let's just say it.
Bob
It's our
Backlund.
Bob Backlund. Our hero. How messed up is that? We spent an entire childhood rooting against Bob Backlund because we knew how great he was, and he was always winning. And years went by, our entire high school years went by, still winning. And then we finally get him. And how long did we try to get Bob Backlund?
Long time.
And we were so nervous that Bob might flake out on us and turn into Mr. Backlund and go crazy. He was amazing. And he stood on his head right over there, folks. You guys got to see that video.
Chris Lee said Dinkin the Pharaoh.
That was
last year.
Was that last year? Yeah. That was fair. Chris is really in love with that.
He loves Dink
He
and
likes
Doink.
Dink trying to molest me. This is
does.
strange, Chris. Strange.
The thing with Backlund for me, bro, is this.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I decided that day that if the show ended tomorrow, we've
we're
accomplished
good.
what we need to
Yeah,
accomplish.
yeah, we saw-
this
we
guy.
talked to Bob Backlund.
We
Yeah.
talked to Bob Backlund.
Yeah, we did.
And you don't see an interview with Bob Backlund like that anywhere.
No. Bob Backlund was fantastic. All those times we ran to the stationery store to see his face on the cover of Pro Wrestling Illustrated when we were kids.
Brett Azar.
Brett Azar was fantastic. He plays the Iron Sheik on the Young Rock. He was fantastic. It was great when you were asking him questions and he had to get them right. Otherwise, you fail the test or whatever. And he was like, "Oh shit!" He had like a name on the edge of his. He was like, "Oh shit! What his name? What his name?" He was excellent. Excellent.
Mark Coleman.
That was awesome. I mean, we're talking about the very first. I like the fact that we did a little UFC.
Right.
This is the very first UFC champion, and he was a great guest and still tough as shit. By the way,
Gangrel.
we love Gangrel here. Vampires eat fruit cups
There you
for
go.
breakfast.
That's
I
it.
can't get past it.
Money Inc.
Fantastic. Unfortunately, Ted's, might have been in trouble since we've seen Ted. But, and how great was Rotundo? He was fucking Mike Rotundo.
I got to be honest with
They
you,
were
with the whole
awesome.
Ted
Ted was
DiBiase,
awesome when he was here.
with the whole DiBiase thing, dude, I think we reinvigorated his career. I
Yeah,
gotta be honest with you, because he wasn't doing shit.
We
and then all of a
pointed
sudden-
out that there hadn't been $1 million, that should be officially recognized. And then a week later, he's out there with it on NXT. He was like, "That's a good idea." So yeah, I think something
Phil
happened.
says Phil says Backlund was his top is one of my top 5 faves.
Yeah.
Damian Kane and DC Drake the worst.
Is that Phil
802
the Sesame said that?
802 says
Phil.
Mustafa.
Mustafa was great.
Jacob, I still dig Ted. So do we, man.
Yeah,
The guy
sure.
kicked ass.
Absolutely.
The dude was showing me how much he made on Cameo.
Yeah, well.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, Ted's...
Rugged Ronnie Garvin. That was a surprise interview.
That was fantastic.
It was so good.
He loves us.
So good.
He even called you, didn't he, on the ride home or something like
Yes,
that?
he
Yeah,
did.
Ronnie Garvin was a sweetheart.
Here's what I'm going to say maybe was my most disappointing interview. And you're probably going to say, I'm out of my mind,
what are you
but
talking about?
the Rock and Roll Express.
Why? That was awesome.
I liked it, but
Gibson
was good.
Gibson was very cool.
He was good.
Morton was great. What are you talking about?
You're right.
They rocked. Why don't you...
You're right.
I thought you were going to tell me. I think we would have to go back. I remember when we walked out of this studio, you were like, Bob Orton Sr.? You wanted to get him to give me a sign, but he was very...
And it was,
He was very bad. You were like, damn it, I couldn't get one thing out of this guy. Meanwhile, it's a great interview.
It was great.
Bob Orton Sr. was great.
James Beard from the now defunct SWF Fury.
Listen. If you guys are going to talk to James Beard, don't say anything about me.
That's it.
Whatever you do. Whatever you do.
John Arezzi.
Next.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jules Strongbow. Now that was a good interview.
That was cool. Jules Strong.
Dude, just having Jules Strongbow in here,
Look, we can't have Chief J. So
But bro, it's
we've
like,
got
who
Jules.
really talks to
we got
Jules
half of the Strongbows. Well, nobody, and they should.
Yeah.
They should. That was a great guest. Jules Strongbow's a tag team legend.
Here's another one of my more favorite interviews.
Oh, man.
The Tonga Kid.
This was great. How cool was the Tonga Kid?
Fucking
By the way, way
cool.
bigger than I thought, man. You're a pretty big dude.
Chris Lee says Vampiro best by far.
Vampiro was great. I can go with that. Are we up to him yet,
No,
though?
not
Who comes-
yet.
Oh, we got the job
The
man.
Job Man.
Chris Moltera.
Fucking love that guy.
Well, Moltera. I'm
Love
sorry,
that guy.
Chris.
That was a great interview. He was awesome.
He was very, very cool. Of course, Mustafa. Sure,
Got very emotional, right?
Mustafa, yeah, you got him. And he was like, remember when I went to commercials, like, you bastard.
Yeah,
He's
you
like,
got
you
me.
made me get upset.
Joel Gertner.
That was fantastic. He's hilarious, quick-witted, cool dude, very supportive. He even told me outside that he really, he thinks we got something really cool going on here. Good
Here's
guy.
the one that kicked off the war between us and the Big Fat Whale.
What war? It has to be two sides to the war. That was a splatter.
That is true.
Yeah, it was an ass-whomping.
Marty Jannetty on
Yeah.
the phone call, which became
Right.
bamboozled from Boston.
From Beantown.
Beantown, that's right.
Yeah, that was great.
By the way, I want to make
Fraud!
I want to make some. Oh my God,
What?
Chris Lee, Bill Alfonso.
Fonzie.
We forgot Fonzie.
How could you? Listen, Daddy. How could you do that to Fonzie?
Thank you, 802. We knew we were missing someone.
Yup.
Wow.
Thank you. Thanks, 802. He's on top of it.
So back to there's a story out there when Big Fat Whale said that he
What a dog.
had me on the phone. This was a true story.
He doesn't know.
Marty called me at work. I picked up, which I don't usually pick up at
Right,
work, but
right.
a lot of times he calls
I
me
hope
at
you
work.
throw one detail in when you're telling the story.
I will.
That was
I'm going to make it
hilarious.
quick too because I don't want to drag it on. But
That's true.
all of a sudden, it's Marty saying, "Hey man, I thought you were my brother. How come you wrote this or something?" And there was something taken out of context on one of the social media sites.
Right.
So all of a sudden, they got me on speaker.
Right.
There's no doubt in my mind they're trying to record me, which is
Right.
fine. Record me all you want.
Right.
And me and Marati start going back and forth. And I basically told him, "Look, dude, Tony doesn't want to do business with you anymore. You've gotten everything you can out of him.
Right.
Just leave him alone."
Yeah, let it go.
So he says to me, and these are pure facts.
Right.
Tony stole money from me and my fans. I go, "How did he steal money from you?" And he went into it, right, about some painting and that he got paid for the show but didn't show up.
Yada, yada.
So I asked him, "How much does Tony owe you?"
Right.
He says to me clearly, $250.
This is over. Smearing him publicly for how long? Over
Yeah.
an alleged. Go on.
So I go,
Yeah.
"Okay, Monty Nefaro will send you money right now for $250.
If you cordially shut the
as
fuck
you
up.
cordially just leave Mr. Atlas alone."
that'd be nice.
You know what he says to me? "No, that's not right. He needs to pay it." And I'm like, "What does it matter?" I said, "He's part of our show.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Right.
We'll pay it."
Right.
No. And then Marty's like,
Because he was enjoying the
right.
mudslinging.
Well,
and it
no, he was
bringing him-
enjoying the
you know,
views he was getting out
It
of
was
it.
bringing him attention for the mudslinging. He was enjoying
Absolutely.
every second of it.
And then Marty's like, "Well, why
And we
don't
don't
you
need
just
your
leave
fucking
Tony
views
alone?"
either, you fat whale.
Right,
Go on.
exactly.
Give me a
So,
fucking break.
You know, and then
Hilarious.
And then he said to me, "I don't have the money to be paying for these guys.
Right.
That's why I need the fans to support it because they
Right.
want something. They need to pay for it." I
Right.
go, "That's how you treat your fans?"
Right.
Right?
Right.
It's a full, true conversation.
Meanwhile, the entire time.
And he goes, well,
You know.
how do you do it? I said, I don't know, man. We hit the streets. We got sponsors behind us.
Right.
We got sponsors that sponsor interviews.
Right.
We got a lot of stuff going on. He goes, well, then you're better than we are. And I'm like, that's right, dude. And then it's when you came over.
Yeah, he didn't even realize I was standing there listening to a lot of the things he's saying. He didn't even know I was there. You know, I
Right.
was just like, I was laughing. I had to walk away so he wouldn't hear me laughing. I was like,
Anyway,
this guy is like.
That was the story.
Lost.
And I heard he was trying to tell some
know.
other story. Which
By
is
the way,
much-
where's Marty now? He's not with him.
Nah, I haven't heard from Marty. I'm a little worried.
Well, that's a whole.
I
nother
have not
story.
gone 3 weeks out here
Wait a
from
minute,
Marty.
he's not at the bowling alley, is he? Because
I hope
things
not.
happen at the bowling alley.
We had Marissa Jade.
You know? Yeah. Oh my God, Marissa Jade.
So hot.
He's laughing about the bowling alley joke. Good job there, Matty. Marissa Jade is the most gorgeous thing that's ever walked into this studio.
Except
that
for
was absolutely
Missy Hyatt.
Well, that's I was gonna get to that because Missy Hyatt and I we're supposed to go out next time she comes down here.
Tony Atlas with his issues with Big
And I'm a
Fat
fucking
Well.
liar, but that's okay. I'm allowed to wish out loud, aren't I? What do you got?
Tony Atlas with his issues with Big Fat Well was in here.
That was great. That's great. Tony Atlas has been nothing but a blessing to us. You know.
John Cena Sr.,
That was fantastic. Talk about a guy who could take a joke and then hits a home run.
DC Drake,
Right?
and
No,
Dave-
seriously.
Yeah.
Can we get that in quick? I mean, and now he's a sponsor for us.
DC Drake and
It's
Damian
hilarious.
Kane.
What was that?
DC Drake and Damian
DC
Kane.
Drake, I remember being really cool. Yeah.
Abdul the Butcher.
Yeah, of course. Fantastic.
Rob Van Dam.
Ah, come on now. Now I can die in peace. What are you talking about? By
Mega-
the way, Rob Van Dam and Vampiro should get together and have a show on philosophies together.
Not a bad
My
idea.
God. Those
By
two
the way, that Vampiro show off the hook.
kicking ass. Vampiro
Mega
TV.
Powers 2.0 with Tony Atlas as your co-host.
Fucking that was so. By the way, that was you with your improvs. I come in and I look at the thing. I'm like, "Where's Mike?" And it's like, "Oh, I didn't tell you. You and Tony Atlas are going to be doing a show with the Mega Powers, Randy Hogan and the Macho Man." I'm like, what?
Sabu.
Just fantastic. A lot like New Jack. I was afraid before he came in, and then there's a group hug going on at the end, and then Sabu's just a sweet, sweet man.
Ahmed Johnson.
Ahmed Johnson was a real surprise to us, wasn't he?
Yep.
We
Got a
weren't
lot,
sure
of,
what
got, a
to
lot, of,
expect.
got a lot of love from the dirt sheets on
Yep,
that
we
too.
got a lot of love, a lot of attention from that, and
Baby
he was really
Doll?
cool. Baby Doll's a real person. She was fantastic. I love Baby Doll.
Ranger Ross, who the movie
What a-
studio
what-
contacted. They're going to do a book. And
What
they
a
wanna
cool
do a
guy
movie.
he was. A very bright man too.
Wolfie
Ranger
D.
Ross. Wolfie D, man, he's a bro.
Jamie Dundee.
He's another one. Wow, what an entertaining man Jamie Dundee is. I wish that Jamie and Wolfie would somehow find a way to get along.
I'd like to get them at least on an
wish,
interview together.
because they are PG-13.
Savio Vega.
Savi was very cool, man. Second time around, even more so than the first. He was cool the first time, but the second time around, he was
Vampiro?
real mad cool. Vampiro, I love, man. Just a real cerebral dude, very deep guy, very unique take, which is why his show was so interesting. People should check
Phil
it out.
says jealous of RVD and anyone toking together. Did you toke out with?
Yeah.
You did with
Oh
RVD.
yeah, I smoked.
You're always smoking weed
I've
with these
smoked
guys.
with You know what? Real quick, I've smoked with Sandman, RVD, Sabu. Trying to think of who else DeFaro has partaken with.
Oh, we had Marati's wife on.
Marati's wife.
Do you remember when Marati's wife? We called up Marati's
You want to
wife.
hear something funny? One of my lady friends recently sent me a text, and she said to me, she goes, and you probably could guess the lady friend, but she's going, "I'm watching this awesome episode. This Miss Marati really likes you." She thinks it was hilarious. I'm laughing my ass
Roy
off. I
says
was like,
Marati's more emotional than a pregnant woman in a trimester.
okay.
And then we finished off with Wolfie D.
Yeah, Wolfie D, man. Gotta love Wolfie. Wait a minute, where's Wolfie? Is Wolfie okay? Where's Wolfie?
I'm not gonna get into it right now. I just
Wait.
can't. It's gonna be a new year.
Can't. Wolfie, where are you?
Can't be chasing
give me a
people
buzz,
around.
Wolfie. Give him a buzz.
Wolfie
will you?
needs to regulate. No, I spoke to him.
Okay. He
But,
needs
you
to
know,
regulate? What, does
yeah.
he take an X-Lax?
Look,
What are you
man,
talking about?
strict rules. Have your videos in on time.
Please.
I am not going to chase you for your videos.
No. You, Chase?
No.
That requires heavy running.
Any dream guests for 2022?
Dream guests. Well, I say it all the time. Since you're asking, I would love to get the model Rick Martel in here.
Oh my God, that'd be great.
I would love to get Valentine and Santana.
that's going to happen.
Sitting in the same place
That's
at the
going
same
to
time.
happen. That is going
you know?
to happen.
And if you're going to get Rick Martel, you might want to give a phone call to Tony Gurria, maybe, and So you asking? I'm not saying you could like presto. Here goes the Wizard of Monty.
All right,
and
we'll be right back where we're going to go into
Wizard of
the
Monty.
top wrestlers.
Oh God.
That's men and women
Right.
of 2021. Top 15.
Yeah, this should be interesting.
All right,
We'll see
we'll
in
be
a
back,
second.
guys.
Yeah.
Jimmy, I got to take a dump.
What?
No, I mean I need a dumpster.
Well, for all those needs, you need to call Big V Dumpster Rental, Long Island, New York, 631-900-DUMP. Jeff Quest, graphics design, custom vinyl lettering, and all your art and video needs. 516-317-8204. That's for Jeff Quest, graphic design. And APB, American Protection Bureau, voted #1 best on Long Island for all your security needs. Call 631-390-9050. That's 631-390-9050. APB.
You want to star in your own success? Call QuickCast. www.quickcast.com. 866-7-CAST-NOW. That's 866-7-CAST-NOW. QuickCast.
Star in your own success.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monty DeFaro, Film.Indie Music TV. Real quick, we're going to go over the top 15. One quick thing. Maria Davis says DDP would be a great interview.
Yeah. Agreed.
And Jacob says Rick Martel would be awesome.
I would love that.
What else here? AAA says your show has been great all year. You guys both have great interviewing skills.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
The one disappointment I do have, guys, is I had expected Monty DeFaro to be on terrestrial radio by the end of this year. So I have failed at that mission. But
You
I
have
will
failed
try
at
to
nothing. We will keep going until we get what we want to get.
All right, we're going to go through this list because we're almost out of time. So disagree, agree, but it's not women separately from men. It's the best wrestlers.
It's a mishmash. It's a mishmash.
Number 15, Britt Baker.
Yeah, I'm not going to get too crazy about the orders and stuff like that, but I'm cool with Britt Baker being on this list. She's done awesome for the women, especially in AEW. Without Britt Baker in AEW, the women's scene is what? So, yeah, she's done good.
Bobby Lashley, number 14.
Bobby Lashley's had an awesome year. Bobby Lashley's not appreciated enough. He's the whole heel run with MVP. He's been great. Bobby Lashley deserves to be on this list. I'm cool. It's good.
Number 13.
Maybe even higher, to tell you the truth, Lashley. But okay, go
Number
on.
13, Miro.
All right. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he belongs in the top 15, to be honest. But he has done very well in AEW this year, and the fans love him over there. So, and he's been pretty much killing everybody. So, okay.
Number
All right.
12, Hangman Page.
Absolutely. Could even be said higher, perhaps on the list by some, and I could see that. That's fine. He definitely deserves to be there. It's about time he got the belt, and now he's got it. And
And he's just about to lose it.
yeah, he's probably going to. I mean, it's not like the ratings are going through the roof, which I didn't think they would. But
Loose Cannon says Monty DeFaro is crushing hardcore into 2022.
there you go.
Number 11, Brock Lesnar.
Yep, of course. Brock Lesnar's return was fantastic, and I love Farmer Brock. How about you?
Love it.
Farmer Brock with Thor hair. Yeah, kind of works.
Cool look, brother.
He's been fantastic this year.
Number 10, The Miz.
Miz is another underappreciated one. Love him or hate him, and most seem to hate him, but after all, that's his job. And again, getting a high-profile war here with Edge. Sure.
Number 9, Damian Priest.
That's an interesting choice you put there.
What about Bad Bunny, right? That whole WrestleMania thing.
Yeah,
US
I'm
champion.
reluctant to give him this kind of props, but I will say that it's been a damn good year for him.
Right.
They certainly haven't hurt him.
Okay.
They've pushed him well.
Another NXT guy, by the way,
Yeah, very true.
that they seem like they hate.
Right, he doesn't get the,
Number 8, Bianca Belair.
This could be higher.
Could be higher.
What a damn performer! What a damn year! Yeah, Bianca Belair could easily be. I could see people putting her in the top 5, no problem. Okay,
Number 7, Charlotte Flair.
there's another one. Charlotte Flair, amazing year. Charlotte is great as always. Great as always. They're the face of the women's division, pretty much with Becky.
802 says sucks. I like Hangman.
Why
Hangman's on the list.
Hangman's
It's
cool.
just high on the list.
Yeah, I think he could be up higher. I said that when we were going over him. I
Number
can see
6,
that.
Big E.
Of course, what a great year for Big E. I personally don't really care for him as champion, and I'm already looking for him to lose the belt, but that's me. It's been a great year for Big E. He deserves to be on the list.
Number 5, Chris Jericho.
Chris Jericho's just great. Chris Jericho will probably be making this list for another 5 years if he chooses to do so.
Good point.
That's how great
He looks
Chris
like he's
Jericho.
in great shape.
Chris
on the-
Jericho is great. Never should have let him go.
Number 4, MJF.
Yeah, sure.
Should have been higher.
No, I'm comfortable with him being in the top 5. I mean, MJF is MJF. He's freaking fantastic, and he's our MJF. He's Long Island grown.
This one hurt me, but number 3, Phil Brooks.
It's about time you reluctantly agreed that whether you love him or hate him, that skinny guy with the Pepsi tattoo is pretty.
Chris Lee says
he's pretty-
Dewdrop should have been on the list.
Chris, you know I don't like Dewdrop, Chris.
So this last one was very tough.
Wait a
very-
second, CM Punk. Now you got to get to number 2.
Well, this one was very tough, right?
Why was this tough?
Because these two,
This is not tough.
It could go either way. I
Not to
thought.
me, it's not.
All right, so number 2, Bryan Danielson.
Right. Yeah, Bryan Danielson's had a huge
But the
return.
AEW fan could say, hey, look, he wrestled in the WWE,
Yeah, he did.
and he wrestled in main events in
That's-
both
yeah,
organizations.
That's right. But only one person on this list, as we get to number 1, has had 1 million to 2 million views from the ratings every single week, has carried the biggest company in the world through WrestleManias, and has now hit his absolute prime as a heel with his advocate. Number 1. It's not his advocate. Wait a minute, who's that guy work for? You see how crossed up I'm getting?
There you go.
Is he an advisor? Is he an advocate? Is he a tribal chief's, wise man? What is he? Either way, we're talking Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is the best. Sorry.
Roman Reigns just
Sorry.
didn't break the top 15
Had
in
the best year this year of
2021.
anybody. I'm sorry.
In
you
my
know.
book, he's broken the top 10 greatest wrestlers of all time.
Yeah, I know he has in your top 10. I would still have to wrestle with that one, not to put a pun on there, but I would have to wrestle with that to see where Roman belongs. But Roman Reigns is clearly one of the all-time greats. He is now going into his 8th year of dominating this company, either with the Shield or later on against Lesnar. You know how many times he's fought Lesnar over there? This is another thing. That feud is turning into
great.
legendary, whether you like
All
it
right,
or not.
so I want to wish everybody
know?
a Happy New Year's. I'm going to read one thing from our friend, the Big Boss Fetty, and then I want you to send us out.
Sure.
All right, Linda Cody's Marati is in the process of booking a 5-star trip to the Carolinas, all while I help keep wrestling legends working for the price of a cup of coffee at Starbucks, while also evading taxes.
All righty then. Wait a minute, the Carolinas. How's the big fat whale get a tan in the Carolinas?
Anyway, we want to wish everybody a Happy New Year. Please be safe.
Yes.
Again,
Absolutely.
we thank you for such a wonderful year. We're expecting 2022 to be even bigger,
Yeah, there you go.
and where we'll be opening up with on January 30th is a
Right.
Sunday, Matt. Sunday.
Right. Right.
December 30th,
Right.
which is today.
Exactly.
Right.
Doink the Clown
Doink is coming back.
and Barry.
Now hold on,
Wyndham.
the little fella ain't coming.
The
though.
little fella's not.
You hear that, Chris?
All right, send us on our way. Thank you, everybody. God bless. Please be safe out there.
This is a very relieved Pharaoh knowing that Dink isn't going to be trying to run after my sphincter. Until next year, we love you all. We thank you for an amazing year, and here's to another amazing year. Later.